Working Class Beer Reviews is looking at Spaten Optimator. It's been a while since I've got some videos. If you haven't seen me in a while, it's just I've got some in the chamber that I just haven't loaded in a while. And I apologize, this work's been kind of keeping me busy. Been working on my house a lot here lately, trying to get it to sell. And this is one of the newer beers I picked up here recently. Spaten Optimator, brewed in Munich, Germany since 1397, which is when the original brewery started, not when this product started. This was Spaten. This is a Doppelbock. This is a 12 ounce. So this is, I don't know if this is imported, Spatenbrau, Munich, Germany. Malt liquor, 7.6% ABV. Malt liquor is a legal term they use in the United States. Yeah, it says imported, so they must have this. This must be more of an American product that they brew in Germany, Munich, Germany. So cool white cap with the shovel head on it. I think Spaten means spade. So Spaten München. So got this little dimpled mug. It's got some residue on it. I feel bad. Hang on. What a dunce. Why would I do this, huh? Why do I do this? Hang on. I know it's clean. Just got a little soap residue on it, so the dishwasher probably had a bit of a hiccup. It does that sometimes. I know in the wintertime I have to worry about the drain line on my dishwasher freezing up. So, because it's up against the wall. That's better. So let's go ahead and pour it. Give it a good, nice pour. The Doppelbock means double bock, double strength. This is a Dunkel, which means dark in German. But this is one of the, almost all the major breweries in Germany have a Doppelbock. The Doppelbock style was inventions by monks in monasteries. During Lent, they would give up food, but they would drink beer still. And this is a high carbohydrate beer, so it'd be almost like liquid bread to them. I did some research, just looking on like Wikipedia and stuff like that. Spaten didn't start importing beer into the United States until 1909. So it took a while for them to start importing beer, and I'm guessing it's probably just their standard lager. But they have an Oktoberfest. They have all sorts of different varieties that we don't get here. I think Spaten also is the producer of Franziskaner, which is the wheat beer. So they have a couple different types of Franziskaner beers. I used to be able to, I can probably still get 6 packs of those. And I know that there's Franziskaner and then there's Weinstefaner, which is another German brewery, wheat beer brewery. They have a Vitus, which is like a strong wheat beer. But a Spaten, we have the regular Spaten and we have this. I think I have seen the Oktoberfest in like Kansas City area, and during Oktoberfest, some places will carry. Ooh, look at that! Good foam there. They'll carry different varieties. I've been to Herman, Missouri during Oktoberfest. It's, my wife and I's anniversary is in October. So last year, was it last year or the year before? We went to Herman, and maybe the year before actually. And Oktoberfest was going on. It was real fun, and yeah, we tried lots of different beers. Cole Camp, Missouri, just 20 minutes or so south of Sedalia, southeast. Sedalia is a big German community, and they have a pretty strong Oktoberfest. And the Cole Camp Fair, they have a place called the German Table that serves a lot of different varieties of German beer. So what do you get? Look at that bonehead. Nice frothy. It has good staying power in the head, I'll give it that. Normally you see these in 11.2 ounces, 300 milligrams. So this is I think it's especially made for the American market, if I had to guess. So you get like a dark caramel, reddish, reddish brownish body. I can't tell if it's filtered or not. It's not bright enough out. I mean, it's daylight, but the sun's not shining, so I can't tell. I'm guessing it's probably highly filtered. So what do we get? Malt. Ooh, yeah. Dark malt. You do get, it's like, they call it biscuit. It's like a cracker. There's a difference because this is going to be all malt. This is going to adhere to the Reinheitsgebot, which is the German purity law, where they only use barley, water, yeast, and hops. And I think they've included wheat into that as well. But it was mainly to preserve grains during rationing at one point in time, back when they had like guilds, bakers guilds, brewers guild, different things like unions essentially. So they weren't encroaching on each other's product, and bakers in times of rations didn't want to waste their, wheat and oats and stuff like that on brewing. So barley is not, I mean, you can make bread out of barley. They say it's an inferior grain for baking, but it's great for brewing because it produces a high amount of sugar for alcohol, essentially. So, yeah, you do smell. When it comes to European beers, this is a lager, Doppel Bocks, strong lagers. Like I said, 7.6, 21.9 carbs. Oh goodness! It doesn't say. Oh, calories. Yeah, 249. So almost 250 calories in this bottle, and 21 carbs. Yeah, definitely not low carb. Definitely not low calories. So this is not a diet beer whatsoever. So I can understand why they thought this was like a meal in a glass. So if you were just trying to, I don't know, because you're not really saving yourself. But if you're of a Christian practice that practices Lent, I am not, and you wanted to give something up, I guess you could give up food and drink this. In a way, it's like a bit of a workaround on that. So let's give it a taste. Yeah, it's so good. I've had this before. So normally I used to get this in the 500 milliliter bottles. And what I was saying about the Franziskaner, I used to get those. They came with like a foil. This is kind of like a green foil. And I think it used to have a gold foil label, or more gold on the label at some point. Maybe when it came to the 500 milliliter bottles, you had more gold foil on it. A lot of the Euro lagers would do that. The Franziskaner and the wheat beers, and it was like a greenish brown. This is all green bottle, like Beck's, Heineken, regular Spaten. It's just more about tradition, I guess, and probably because over there they don't sit long enough for them to worry about spoiling and skunking. But since they import them, they come over on probably container ships or whatever. Oh, that felt good. So it takes more time. So there's a higher likelihood of them skunking. This does not smell skunky. It's got a sweetness to it, obviously because of the higher ABV means higher calories, higher sugars in order to ferment into alcohol. But an all malt Doppelbock is there's something fun about that. I've done the Eyinger Celebrator years ago. You can see my video on that, and it's kind of a greenish brownish bottle. Got mosquitoes around here. It's not even that warm, but they're out. And it had like the little white goat hanging off the side of it. I know I've had other Doppelbocks, German Doppelbocks. Forgive me for not recall my catalog. It's not as extensive as other people's, but this is good. This cost I want to say around $10.99, which isn't really bad anymore. It used to be. It's like I'm surprised it didn't go up in price. It's like craft beers have caught up with imports in price. Imports, you would think. I mean, sometimes Corona and all that for a 6-pack can be like $12 or more. And I just picked this up. I think it may have been on sale, like $1 off, or 90 cents off, or something like that. So it's like it's been a while. I had some friends over and let them try it. It has 8/25. I'm guessing that's the Best Buy date, 8/25. So July of 2025. So we got a couple months. We still got a couple months of freshness. And this is my last one. Yeah, superb beer. Really good. Um, it's not bitter. You can, if you've had Euro lagers, excuse me, here's itching a little bit. You know what I mean when it comes to the hoppiness of it. It's like a grassy hop. It's not piney. It's not citrusy. But it is different than what American hops use. They seem a little more heavy-handed than what American lagers are. American lagers are much more rounded. The all malt profile of a Euro lager it gives a bit of a sharpness to it that some people may have a difficulty with, and but if you get one that's fresh and that hasn't been sitting out in the hot warehouse or in the sun, I've had some bad Heinekens before. I've had some bad Coronas, Becks, and I bought some Golden Pheasants on sale that were obviously weren't properly stored. They say though that if you pour it out and let it sit and let it recede, a lot of that skunkiness will kind of float away. So, but if you go to just drink it straight out of the bottle, I remember around the time of coming of age, when it came of age of drinking, Heineken was real popular. Like this has been the very, very early 2000s. And Heineken, I remember going to restaurants and bars and stuff and seeing people just drinking Heineken straight out of the bottle. And I never got it. I never really got, until I started appreciating beer more for its flavor instead of its effect. How young people used to do. I do not encourage that now. I would much rather sit and contemplate and think about it. Even when it comes to quality stuff like this, and even lower quality stuff, But I do remember when this was an 11.2 ounce bottle, so this is new, being a 12 ounce bottle. But it still tastes great, and I don't think anything's changed. He's gonna finish it for you guys. I think, from what I can gather, over in Germany, they just like their standard base lagers over there. And I don't know if they're 5%, if they're 4%. I don't know if it's different. The benchmark in the United States, Budweiser kind of set that, and Coors is the same way. It's 5%. That's the benchmark. There's a lot of them that are in between 4.5 to 5. Some, light beers obviously get into, between 4 and 4.5. Some are even lower than that. Now, NA beers have become even more popular. I think for health reasons, for addiction reasons, for people that have a problem being moderate, not showing moderation and self-control, I think that a lot of that spiked during the pandemic when people were just sitting at home, and some people were working remotely and they just didn't have as much accountability, and they could kind of start earlier than normal. I find no fault in someone on their day off, on the weekend, on a float trip or camping trip. It's not unreasonable for someone to crack one open pretty early. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but if someone were to do that on a day-to-day basis, it could eventually turn into a problem, and I think some people ran into that. But this is delightful. It really is. I like it a lot. I don't give rate on. I did notice on Rate Beer it got like an 87. So for a widely produced lager, that's pretty good. So, because they tend to dunk on anything mass produced. Oh, Munich, Spaten. Since it's made in Munich, it is one of the official beers of Oktoberfest in Munich, Germany. you have to, the brewery has to be within a certain vicinity of Munich to be included. So Eyinger, I think, Spaten, Lowenbrau, Lowenbrau. I don't know how to German pronunciation. I have German heritage in my family, but I know nothing of the German language, or very, very, very little of the German language. Spaten, Eyinger, Lowenbrau, Hofbrau, Hackershore, how you say that? It's like 2 words. I think those are the breweries that participate in Oktoberfest in Munich because of their location. And they have like strict locality laws and stuff like that, because you get over into the other side of Germany. I think Munich is Western Germany. Eastern Germany is like Berlin, because the Iron Curtain. It seems like I remember that from history. Cologne is another city, a brewery city, and they make Kolsch, which is a light. It's like a lager brew with ale yeast, or flip flop. It's an ale brew with lager yeast, one of the two. But it's a different bodied beer because of the yeast factor. And they serve it in these little cylindrical glasses. They bring you out like a whole tray of them. You just like, almost like a double shot of beer. So I'll have to, if I can find a Kolsch beer, I will do a review. A lot of craft breweries have been doing their own Kolsch style, so I will have to look at that. But anyway, thank you guys. If you have had Spaten Optimator, let me know in the comments what you think of this product. If there's another one of the breweries that has a better Doppelbock, let me know what you think. What's your perspective on it? Or even American Doppelbocks. You can call Steel Reserve Helles Doppelbock, or Hurricane Helles Doppelbock. I used to be able to get Genesee Black, but I can't find that no more. But yeah, what are your opinions on this? Thanks for watching this video, and I will see you guys later.